Sometimes it is difficult to say what we need to. Even some simple things can be a threat in our conversation. Imagine you could talk fluently anything to anyone. That's why you are going to see it here. 1. A grammar rule to know how to say your things. 2. A text to improve your pronunciation. 3. The meaning of some difficult words to improve your vocabulary. Do you want to get rid of your English concerns? You've got a good right step. Here you improve your 4 skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking to get a higher score in international tests, to improve your career abilities, and to immigrate to Canada or any other English-speaking country. Pay close attention to this video to find out how. In exchange, you help us by clicking on the bell icon to subscribe and on the like button to spread the name of Smart Mind. Now, here we go. Grammar rule.
Present conditionals, present real conditional, form, if when simple present if when simple present use. The present real conditional, also called conditional 0, is used to talk about what you normally do in real life situations. Examples: if I go to a friend's house for dinner, I usually take a bottle of wine or some flowers. When I have a day off from work, I often go to the beach. If the weather is nice, she walks to work. Jerry helps me with my homework when he has time. I read if there is nothing on TV. A. What do you do when it rains? B. I stay at home. A. Where do you stay? If you go to Sydney. B. I stay with my friends near the harbor. Important: if when, both if and when are used in the present real conditional. Using if suggests that something happens less frequently. Using when suggests that something happens regularly. Examples: when I have a day off from work, I usually go to the beach. I regularly have days off from work. If I have a day off from work, I usually go to the beach. I rarely have days off from work. Present unreal conditional, form, if, simple past, would plus verb, if, simple past, use. The present unreal conditional, also called conditional 2, is used to talk about what you would generally do in imaginary situations. Examples: if I owned a car, I would drive to work. But I don't own a car. She would travel around the world if she had more money. But she doesn't have much money. I would read more. If I didn't watch so much TV, Mary would move to Japan. If she spoke Japanese, if they worked harder, they would earn more money. A. What would you do if you won the lottery? B. I would buy a house. A. Where would you live if you moved to the US? B. I would live in Seattle. Exception: if I were. In the present unreal conditional, the form was is not considered grammatically correct. In written English, or in testing situations, you should always use were. However, in everyday conversation, was is often used. Examples: if you were French, he would live in Paris. If she were rich, she would buy a yacht. I would play basketball. If I were taller, I would buy that computer. If it were cheaper, I would buy that computer. If it was cheaper. Not correct, but often said in conversation. Important: only use if. Only the word if is used with the present unreal conditional, because you are discussing imaginary situations. When cannot be used. Examples: I would buy that computer when it were cheaper. Not correct: I would buy that computer if it were cheaper. Correct. Exception: conditional with modal verbs. There are some special conditional forms for modal verbs in English. Would plus can equals could. Would plus shall equals should. Would plus may equals might. The words can, shall and may cannot be used with would. Instead, they must be used in these special forms. Examples: if I went to Egypt, I would can learn Arabic. Not correct: if I went to Egypt, I could learn Arabic. Correct: if she had time, she would may go to the party. Not correct: if she had time, she might go to the party. Correct: the words could, should, might and ought to include conditional, so you cannot combine them with would. Examples: if I had more time, I would could exercise after work. Not correct: if I had more time, I could exercise after work. Correct: if he invited you, you really would should go. Not correct: if he invited you, you really should go. Correct. Now, here is the grammar rule that you may find useful to have by the time you will have to use it. Remember, you have to have the grammar rules, the pronunciation, and the vocabulary to sustain your conversation. We want to show these factors to you, and you could have to help us to increase this video influence to keep achieving you, always, and to reach other people, and to help them. This is very key for you in improving your career and increasing your chances to immigrate to Canada. Then, click on the bell icon and enroll yourself by clicking to subscribe.
2. Text.
Many companies are making changes to their offices to help employees feel safer as they return to work after more than 1 year of coronavirus restrictions. Some are improving office air systems or are moving desks farther apart. Others are removing desks and building more conference rooms for employees who work at home but come into the office for meetings. Steelcase is an office furniture company based in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It says research shows half of companies around the world plan to redesign their office space this year. Natalie Angles works as a designer at the architecture business Gensler. She said the past year has made people think, why do we go to an office? Not every company is making changes, and Angles noted that they do not have to. She tells her customers to remember what worked well and what did not before the coronavirus health crisis. But designers say many companies want to make employees feel safe and energized at the office. This is especially the case as some businesses report a labor shortage. The food and drug company Ajinomoto redesigned its North American headquarters near Chicago last year based on those concerns. Ajinomoto's employees returned to work in May. The building had wider walking spaces and glass divisions between workspaces. This was to give workers more room and to make them feel more secure. To improve mental health, the company added a relaxation room. A test kitchen was set up for online presentations. In addition to that, a cleaning crew disinfects the office 2 times a day. Ryan Smith is the executive vice president of Ajinomoto North America. He admits the efforts might be too much, but it could help those who have concerns about returning to work in the office. Smith estimates 40% of the new headquarters design was changed. Shobha Surya, an employee at Ajinomoto, is energized by the space. She said, "The office gives you a balance of work and home life." She said it was easier to keep her attention at the office now, and she is happy to be working with her coworkers again. Lise Newman is with the architecture business Smith Group. She said when employees are asked what they miss most about the office, they say socializing and working with colleagues. Companies are trying to build relationships between employees by having more social areas. Some have areas that look like a coffee shop. Newman said, companies are trying to create that sense that this is a cool club that people want to come into. Mark Bryan is a designer at M&A Architects based in Columbus, Ohio. He expects that, in the future, an office will have different places to work in on any given day. Some workers might choose a small private room, and others might choose a table in the office eating area. Some office changes show the new mixture of working from home and at the office. Based in New York, Valiant Technologies provides technical support and other services to businesses. It is letting its employees work mostly from home. Employees request a desk if they want to come into the office. The company has removed desks and has put more spaces between the remaining ones. Employees leave equipment in safe storage areas. Not every design change will stay. Steelcase brought back some employees last summer. They pushed tables in the cafeteria far apart from each other and only permitted one person to sit at a table. Steelcase's chief, Jim Keene, said it made the space so sad that no one wanted to sit there. He said he learned that workspaces need to be safe, but they also need to be inspiring. He said people are actually going to expect more from offices in the future. I'm Gregory Stockel.
Remember to check the links for Canadian companies searching for employees outside of Canada in the description. 3. Words in this story.
Desk, a piece of furniture that is like a table and often has drawers, furniture, chairs, tables, or beds that are used to make a room ready for use. Architecture, the art or science of designing and creating building. Relaxation, a way to rest and enjoy yourself. Customer, someone who buys goods or services from a business. Club, the place where the members of a club meet. Colleague, a person who works with you. Fellow worker. Cafeteria, a place, such as a restaurant or a room in a school, where people get food at a counter and carry it to a table for eating. Inspire, to make someone want to do something, to give someone an idea about what to do or create.
Say to us your questions, and pretty soon, you will see what we have to say. Leave your comments about this video, and we will know what you like and what we can do better to help you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.